Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out.
Believe it.
Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
I'm doing this first question came to me via a Facebook message, actually. And I'm going to read it to you right now. Let's jump in. This is, and I never, if you do email me, I'm never going to say your name on here. Although if you want to let me know your country or something, that's always nice. But this does seem to have come from within the United States. And the question is, I'm feeling unloved and unappreciated or not good enough in some way. Is this a me problem or is my partner causing it? And this is a great question. And I get asked things like this a lot. So let me just say, first and foremost, nobody else causes anything. So the answer is, it is a you problem. It is not your partner causing it. And I just want to say that first. However, I've got some caveats, so keep listening. But really think about that. No one, what did Eleanor Roosevelt famously say many years ago? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And that's really what this is about. No one can make you feel a certain way. And I know it can seem that way because it seems like people make us feel all kinds of things. So yeah, of course, it sucks if someone's mean to us or, it's hard not to get your feelings hurt if, someone acts a certain way. But what I have found over the years is that, number one, we say that things have a definition that they often don't. So our partner leaving, maybe if my, partner leaves his sock on the floor, I say, oh, he doesn't appreciate me. He thinks I'm a maid. That means he doesn't appreciate me. He doesn't really love me. He doesn't understand me. I have this whole thing about a sock on the floor. And so we're often deciding what something means. And we even say things like, you knew what you meant, or you didn't mean that when you said that, you meant this. We even tell people what they mean or what they said when it wasn't. And that's a you problem. That's a you thing. You got to get out of that. And the example I use of this all the time is this. Let's say I am walking down the street and someone says to me, I don't know, like someone's passing me by and goes, oh my God, you're gross. Like you're obese. You're disgusting. You shouldn't even be walking on the street. You should go home. And I'm not obese. I'm not saying my butt isn't bigger than I'd like, but I'm not obese. And I don't think I'm obese. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have any big problem there. So I'm going to think the other person's crazy. They're saying.
In other words, you ain't got to take it in. But it's frustrating. It's difficult when you're with a significant other, somebody you love, somebody you care. And do you think you should even have an expectation for being who you are? Listen to what I'm saying. sometimes because we think we're a good person, because we think we are good people and we do right by our partner or we try to do our best, sometimes there's this desire to want our presence to be acknowledged. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but she's talking about the inside job of happiness. I think we tend to put emphasis and importance on things that if we were really fulfilled internally wouldn't be such a big deal, right? So I heard somebody say the four agreements, or not the four agreements, but the love languages were basically what wounded people want. So if you never got gifts when you were kids, you want gifts in your relationships. If you never were touched and shown affection, you want to be touched and shown affection, right? I often believe many times, if we have this, idea about who we think we are, when we show up in the relationship, we feel like you got to acknowledge who I think I am. I'm here for you. I got your back, but you got to acknowledge that, right? And the reality of it is, if you did the inner work, that request is really not, it's not a deal breaker, I should say. Yo, the phone lines are cracking, and so is the chat room. Everybody in the chat room. Neek is the Night just got in here. Attila Phillips is in here. Nazarene X. We got the whole crew in Zynga. Everybody is in the building. Lady Aries. I want to talk to everybody. Get to your phone lines. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. We're talking about being taken advantage of, being marginalized, being made to feel small. Nobody can make you feel smaller than yourself. Agree or disagree with that? 1-800-920-1580. Attila, Houston, Texas. Get back in here and wrap us with your final thought. Attila, are you there? Okay, there you are. There we go. We got you back. Talk to me. Attila, is she there? Testing 1, 2. Attila, where that phone? Are you there or no? You there? I hear her for a second and then she's gone. All right, Attila, you got to call back. It's all right. Call me back because I want your final thought. Call me back. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. Sean, Oakland, California. Get in here.
Hey, brother, this is powerful. This is a great show. As a person who has witnessed shaming, right? Thank goodness my family never used that as a tool. And by the way, it is a tool that people use who are weak. That first thing when someone shames you, realize they are weak. You're never going to understand the depth of what you say all the time, brother, wounds and all these things that happen in their life. But whatever the case, they're weak because shaming does not work. It's never worked. It will never work, and it's never worked.
Okay.
And I want to. It's true. It's true because if it has to do with the way someone looks, the way someone talks, right? They didn't say the sentence the correct way. It doesn't even have to be looks. Like really? Did you just say that? I said, did you understand what I said? Oh, yeah. But, well, I'm not writing a book when I'm talking to you. I just want you to understand what I'm saying. But some people will jump on every single little tiny thing to shame you because I believe what you're saying. I love the work in progress. I love the whip. I love the, because of the, wounds. Because if you're going to really take out your wounds on someone else by shaming them, especially for they're not in perfect shape, instead of shaming someone, how about you don't say a damn word and make a nice dinner that's healthy, that's nice and we do it together and we might have a wonderful evening together or take a nice walk together and enjoy the sunset. You know, enjoy the finer things in life. Why are you taking it out on someone else? It's because someone took it out on you. So please don't continue that pattern.
Okay. Sean, straight from Oakland, California, town
That's right.
business. We appreciate the call. Thank you, thank you, thank
Thanks,
you,
brother.
thank you. Wow. Sean told us, didn't he? Listen, it happens in relationships. People who think they're in a better position, people who think they didn't do anything wrong, people who think, they're not responsible for the breakdown of a relationship. Of course, they're going to make the other person feel like they're responsible. And of course, they're going to blame them. They're going to shift the blame to them. It happens all day in America. The point that we're trying to make tonight is, what are you doing to not internalize what has happened? See, you remember a month or so ago, I did a show about forgiveness. But it wasn't a straightforward show about forgiveness. The caption basically said, real forgiveness is acknowledging that it never happened. And so what does that mean? Again, this is like a Zen koan. Do you know anything about Zen and koans, the koans? All right, the Zen koans are like riddles, right? So an example of that Zen koan would be, what is the sound of one hand clapping? Right? That's designed to get your mind out of its pattern. The pattern of rumination, the pattern of repetition, right? Oh, so I carry a wound, a shame wound from my childhood into my adult relationships. I'm anxious and preoccupied, and I'm trying to fix it because I don't want to exacerbate the wound, right? This is what happens to a lot of people. So when that does happen, they become dependent on the encouragement, on the acknowledgement, on the approval, on the acceptance of their partner. So in the event that what that person was doing to bring some type of value to the relationship is no longer necessary, needed, and or wanted, then you have a person who might internalize, wow, I'm being rejected. Especially if the partner is like, man, that's cool. That was cool for back in the day, but now this don't work no more. And now you start to feel like, wow, nothing I do matters. I'm not adding up to something. I'm not, affecting the type of response that I want. Well, again, inside job activity. We got Atala back on. Atala, yeah, back in the building. Are you good now?
All right. I hope so.
All right.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, talk to me.
Okay, so real quick. So Lady Aries made a really good point. She was saying that the internalization can be a beast. Yes. If you are internalizing these things, you have yet to self-actualize and see who you are outside of the relationship, outside of any dynamic, just you. Who are you? Define that. Figure that out, because then you find yourself taking responsibility for things that aren't yours. And if you're dealing with somebody who's manipulative or albeit narcissistic or whatever, they're going to relish that. They want you to take responsibility for the things, places, ideas, all of that that's not yours, because essentially they want to mold you. So I think it's important to mold your own destiny, mold yourself, so that no one else can take advantage of that.
That's heavy. Heavy from the mind of Atala from Houston, Texas. Yo, that's different. But how does one even recognize when somebody has made them feel small or tried to dim their light? How does one even recognize that?
Because it permeates in every facet of your life. I'll give you an example. So growing up, right, I was always told, you think you know everything. You always talk about what I thought, because that's what my mind is always moving. It never stops, unfortunately. So what does that mean? That means that when I walk into a situation, any arena, work or whatever have you, I'm constantly wondering, am I doing too much? Am I overthinking? Am I too much? Am I saying too much? Maybe I should just be quiet. Right? So that essentially attracts people to me who are going to, in a sense, see that, understand that there's a bigger light here that could come out, but they're going to keep you in that space because that benefits them. That is advantageous towards them. And so I found myself just going into arenas, you know, fields of work that just weren't even really aligned with me because it allowed me to stay small. But the Most High just had other plans. He was like, nah, you're going to get to the front. Like, I'm telling you, Uncle Zoe, like, I kept having experiences where they're like, no, we need you to speak. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. And I was constantly avoiding it. And at some point, I just realized that I couldn't. I couldn't outrun myself.
I couldn't outrun myself. Lord, why were you trying to?
Because I was always told that the me that is me is bad. The me that other people like is great because I have a unique ability to essentially mold and become what other people want because I see what they want. Some people don't even have the ability to see. I have the ability to see so I can become. The problem with that is if I'm becoming what someone else wants, then I never get to actualize into what I actually am.
Wow. I love every minute of this discussion with my sister Atala from Houston, Texas. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, I'm going to get deeper. I'm going to go way deeper. I want y'all to tap back in after we come forward. Check out my playlist. But I'm telling you, when we come forward, I'm going to blow the roof off this mug.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
For all of us, this generation and the next, there is simply no place in our lives for litter. And yet, it's everywhere we look. And unfortunately, it does belong to all of us. So, let's come together and create a litter-free, clean California, once and for all. Remember to properly dispose of your trash and recycling. Secure truckloads with tarps to keep debris from flying out. Clean out your car when you're at a gas station. Take pride in your community by organizing a cleanup event. Or join a cleanup event near you. Zero litter is the goal. Join us at cleanca.com. That's cleanca.com. Let's do it together. Brought to you by Caltrans. cleanca.com.
Is your eyesight changing?
I can't read this anymore.
Don't lose hope. People just like you are working every day using Braille, screen magnification, speech technology, and other tools and blindness skills. Your eyesight may have changed, but your goals, they don't have to. We can help. Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Turning my pain into purpose is pretty much what I have done to start this foundation.
In August 2020, after the death of George Floyd, Bridget Floyd and other family members established the George Floyd Memorial Foundation in support of the Black community.
It's going to take more than just us as a foundation. It's going to take the community, the world, to make a change.
Fight for racial justice for the Black community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. 'Cause here we are back where we were before. Seems nothing ever changes. We're back to being strangers, wondering if we ought to stay or head on out the door. Just once, can we figure out what we keep doing wrong? Why we never last for very long? What are we doing wrong? Just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? To make the magic last for more than just one night. If we could just get to it, I know we could break through it.
Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I'm Coach Lilia. I'm a relationship coach and a narcissist abuse survivor myself. And I know I haven't posted on here in a while. I really want to take the focus on narcissistic women, okay? Because these are mothers that raise children that are severely traumatized. There are so many men that are being domestically abused we don't talk about it enough because men don't talk about it. And, you know, we typically think of a narcissist as somebody who's a male, grandiose person, right? With zero empathy, of course. But we need to talk more about how narcissism is manifested in women. Today, I want to talk to you about how does a narcissistic wife treat her husband in a marriage or a domestic relationship, right? As long as it's like a long-term relationship where they're living together for a number of years. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Number one, you as the male, you will always feel like the problem. I have clients that ask me all the time, am I the problem? Am I the narcissist? Is it my fault? No, it's not your fault, okay? This is exactly how an abuser wants you to feel in that relationship. They will basically blame you for everything. They will always be unsatisfied. You will always feel like you're disappointing them all the time, and you're gonna think it's your fault, and you're gonna try harder, and she's gonna basically embarrass you more. She's going to take away your manhood. She's always going to explain things to you like you're a little child, you know, like if you're drying the dishes, why did you put them here? Or if you buy something that's a brand that she doesn't like, why did you buy this brand? You know, I don't like this. Like, it's always going to be that nagging, nothing's ever good enough, there's never going to be that good job, thank you so much. No, you're never going to hear that. Everything you do is going to be incorrect, and you will believe it, and you will truly feel like you're the problem in the relationship. So please, if you're the man that's suffering from this kind of abuse, I want to tell you right now, it's not your fault. She's making you feel like this on purpose. Number two is that this woman is always going to be against you. She's always going to take the side against you. She's never going to be your true partner, okay? She's going to do this to embarrass you. She's going to do this to basically, once again, take away your manhood. Like, she's never treating you as a partner, as an equal. She's always against you because she doesn't trust you, because she doesn't know how to trust. Because remember, narcissistic people in general, they never feel safe in their relationship, ever. because they never had that attachment that was secure in their childhood. Therefore, she's not going to have that with you. So she's always going to be skeptical of everything and basically never support you in anything, because why? She has to be against you because clearly she can't trust you. That's all built up in her head. The third one is very common, is that this woman, especially if she was using sexuality to manipulate you in the beginning, right? Now she's going to take away that affection fully, and she's going to make you feel guilty for wanting to be intimate with her. And why is she doing this? Well, first of all, so that you feel like something's wrong with you for wanting to be physical with your wife, which is, you know, it's crazy to think about, because you will truly believe that you're...
I mean, people going through hell. The voice of reason back on KBLA Talk 1580. People are going through hell. What in the world? Yes, people are going through it. And it's tough, man. It is tough. Let me explain something to you, man. Okay? Right? When you feel marginalized or minimized, or your light is being dimmed, or you're being taken for granted within intimate relationships, you need to understand, like, some pieces here. All right? There's an interplay of marginalization, and that is the self versus, you know, the significant other, right? Both oneself and a significant other hold the power to contribute to feelings of marginalization or minimization. In other words, you have the power to make yourself feel small. You have the power to make yourself feel like my light is being dimmed. You can do that to yourself. One of the ways of doing that is negative self-talk. But then your significant other, there's something different here. While external actions can impact self-perception, it is crucial to recognize the role of personal agency in interpreting and responding to the dynamic between your significant other, like, dumping on you a little bit, and you dumping on yourself. Maybe you dumping on yourself is an invitation for them to do so. And maybe the moment you stop doing it, they'll stop doing it. Then you have to understand there's something about balancing needs and desires. Feeling that one's needs, wants, and desires are secondary to a significant other's can be disheartening. Open communication and mutual respect are essential to ensure that both partners are being acknowledged and their feelings are being met, their needs are being met. It is crucial to establish a healthy balance where both individuals feel valued and heard. It's not, you hear me, and that's all that matters. Or I hear you, and that's all that matters. No, we got to get better on hearing each other and making space to be heard. I'm not 100% a master of it. When it's brought to my attention, I try to do my best to accommodate my significant other in listening. Like I said, I got my hang-up. Sometimes I interrupt and ask questions, and sometimes it's really just about listening. When I come forward, I'm going to go more into this point. We got a lot to talk about.
I gave my all, but I think my all may have been too much. 'Cause Lord knows we're not getting anywhere. Seems we're always blowing whatever we've got going, and it seems at times with all we've got, we haven't got a prayer.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Hurricane Idalia is impacting Georgia. The National Hurricane Center says the storm will continue to move across southeastern Georgia. Idalia made landfall as a Category 3, the strongest hurricane to hit Florida's Big Bend area in 125 years. President Biden says he plans to reach out to Republican Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell after he appeared to have another freeze moment. While speaking to reporters today, Biden called McConnell a friend. There are concerns about the 81-year-old Republican's health after he suddenly stopped speaking during a press event in Covington, Kentucky. And President Biden is pledging $95 million to harden Hawaii's power grid against national disasters. This comes after Maui was devastated by wildfires earlier this month. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the Accident Guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the Accident Guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black. Follow the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
If you're a veteran with a service-connected disability that is directly impacting your ability to work, resources are available to help you find employment. VA's Veteran Readiness and Employment, or VR&E, can assist you with finding a job that uses your existing skills. Or, if you're interested in exploring a new field, a VR&E counselor can help you determine the right education or training options for a new career. Find out if VR&E is right for you by visiting va.gov/VRE today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried New Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you your own worst critic? Are you wrestling with a lot of insecurity and self-doubt right now, but don't know why? When you internalize the idea of not being good enough, you don't appreciate yourself enough. When you're too harsh and demanding with yourself, it leads you to believe that you don't deserve anything in life. It's only human nature to doubt yourself and to want to be a better person, but it's important to know when it goes from self-improvement to self-destruction. Here are 7 of the most likely reasons why you don't feel good enough. 1. You're overly self-critical. Do you find it hard to forgive yourself for your mistakes? Do you immediately blame yourself when something goes wrong in your life? Research has shown that our day-to-day thoughts can have a powerful impact on our feelings, behaviors, and attitudes. So if you often talk down to yourself a lot and criticize yourself too harshly, it would certainly result in low self-esteem, pessimistic thinking, and feelings of inadequacy. These negative beliefs inform the way you feel about yourself, and if you keep listening to your own negativity, you'll never feel like you're good enough. 2. You always compare yourself to others. As the saying goes, comparison is the thief of joy. Making comparisons does not only hurt your self-esteem, but also causes misery. A lot of us are guilty of doing this, especially when you're feeling insecure or doubting yourself. But social comparisons only make you feel worse. Because the reality is, there will always be someone who you consider better than yourself. And focusing too much on competing with everyone else and seeing how you measure up to them will just leave you feeling bitter, envious, and resentful of both others and yourself. 3. You're surrounded by toxic people. Do your so-called friends like to prey on your insecurities and make fun of you for it? Does your partner tear you down with backhanded compliments and thinly veiled judgment? Is your family unsupportive of everything you do? Sometimes the problem might not lie so much in yourself, but in the people you choose to surround yourself with. The people you love are supposed to boost your self-confidence and help you see the good in yourself.
No.
But all unhealthy.
No. They're not supposed to make you love yourself more. No. We're mirrors. We reflect the work. Whether the work is done or undone, relationship on a spiritual level is designed to show you what you need to work on about yourself. That's it. I'm telling you, Language is going to catch up to spiritual understanding at some point, but I guess not today. The reality of it is, right? We have to stop saying things like, they're supposed to make us happy. They're supposed to bring peace into our lives. They're not supposed to bring their drama here. Listen, if you got it, it's in you. If you're dealing with it in your relationships, that's a clear sign that it is in you. That's all it is to it. Now, yes, sometimes we marginalize ourselves. Sometimes we second guess ourselves. Sometimes we doubt ourselves. Sometimes we put ourselves down. Sometimes we minimize and marginalize and dim our own light. Well, if you do that, just see that as promotion. You done took out an ad in the paper that says all goofies and busters come here. That's what you've done. I'm guilty. Arabia looking at me sideways right now. I'm guilty. I done did it. I done did it. Man, everything wrong in my life, I know that I'm responsible for that. Like, that's what it is. I'm responsible. You heard that old saying, nobody can mistreat you or take advantage of you without you co-signing, without your consent. The actual quote is from Eleanor Roosevelt, and it's, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Right? There have been many times in my life where I have conceded to other people's opinions and perspectives of me. And, you know, it usually doesn't turn out well for me when I do that. You know, no one has power over us unless we concede that power to them. And I'm saying this to say, if you're in a relationship right now and you're being made to feel like you don't matter, you're being made to feel like your light is dim or you're less than your partner, that will end the moment you stand up for yourself. See, Attila was on earlier, and Attila said something about keeping her voice quiet and not talking, and then at some point she had to say something, right? She got to a point where she had to speak out. Well, speaking out is a type of standing up for yourself. But before you can stand up in protection of yourself, you might have to learn how to stand up to yourself. Stop doing what you're doing, which is promoting that other people can do it too. Because if you would do it to yourself, why wouldn't somebody come into your life and think that they couldn't do it as well? You do it to yourself. So, one way to really change the way you see things is to challenge limiting beliefs. Allowing limiting beliefs and societal conditionings to influence self-perception can lead to a feeling of unworthiness and being undervalued. Recognizing and challenging these beliefs systems is key to reclaiming self-worth, engaging in self-reflection, seeking therapy, and participating and practicing with self-compassion. All of these things can help you overcome, you know, what you do to yourself as well as what others have done to you. Right? You got to challenge those limiting beliefs. You heard the distinction I made months ago when we did the boundaries show. I believe that there's a distinction between boundaries and cloundries. I believe that if you want a sound boundary, there can't be any fear, ego, negative self-talk, limiting beliefs, unbalanced needs and desires. There can't be low self-esteem, communication breakdowns within yourself. Do you understand? Man, heavy stuff tonight. When we come forward, you think Zoe's going to stop cooking? Wrong. Wrong.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
Hi, it's Tavis Smiley. KBLA Talk 1580 is inviting you to join us on Saturday, September 16th, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for our very first economic empowerment event for the community. This event is free and it's powered by Caltrans. We're doing this in association with Rambo House, and here's Rambo to tell you more.
Contracts. I'm going to say it again for all of us small business owners out there. Contracts. Rambo House, KBLA, Tavis, me. Oh my God, this is going to be massive. I truly thank Caltrans for giving us the opportunity to focus on contracts. Listen, that's what it's all about to be a small business in LA. That's how we hire our own. That's how we expand our community is contracts. KBLA1580.com is for you to have a seat at our contracts focused event. Contract Ready does it again. We had over 900 last time. So you guys know how exciting this is. And if you just think that you want to get into contracts and you're close to it, bring your friends out for September 16th at the Marriott Hotel. Listen, you know where to register. KBLA1580.com. Come see me. I can't wait to see you. Let's do it, Tavis.
So be sure to go to KBLA1580.com for all the details. We'll see you Saturday, September 16th.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands for Unity and Healing. African Focus Incorporated is a nonprofit organization based in California that focuses on the growth and well-being of Africans all around the world. Their mission is to promote the well-being of people of African descent through knowledge and appreciation of one another by building a bridge of love and understanding. African Focus Incorporated strives for cultural, educational, and economic growth. They're the organization behind the African Family Induction Ceremony, African Goodwill Awards, African Focus Trailblazer Tours, African Dance Competition, and Showcase Los Angeles, Family Day, Good News Windows Microfinance Project, and more. To volunteer, travel with African Focus, or to attend one of their community building events, please call 310-676-7730. That's 310-676-7300. Or visit AfricanFocus.org. This is a diaspora-wide community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
With And you're so damn fine. I wanna say you're sure good tonight. After all this time, slip on your nightgown, step in our bed.
I'm Alan Robarge, a relationship coach. Welcome to the New Love Addiction, where we are not talking about addiction. We're talking about attachment injuries and healing from attachment trauma. And when attachment trauma is present in one's life, emotional, developmental trauma around relationships and relating, it can impact and influence our sense of self, how we feel about ourselves, and we internalize some beliefs, core beliefs about who we are. And these oftentimes are not pretty. They are painful. They are harsh. And what this would mean, ideas such as I do not matter. I am not good enough. There is something fundamentally wrong with me. And the feeling states that this produces are ones of contempt and shame and disgust and feeling embarrassed about being a human being, feeling embarrassed about being yourself, feeling disgust around having your own needs and wants and desires, having shame, shaming yourself for feeling shame. It is self-generating. It is cyclical, that there is shame on top of shame. So in this moment, I want to acknowledge how incredibly painful these distorted core beliefs, this distorted thinking as far as how you feel about yourself. And you learned this through life experience. You learned this through family history. You learned this through neglect, abandonment, and abuse. You learned this from relationships where your value was devalued, and so therefore you internalized that, and you believed it, and you continue to devalue yourself. You continue to have some feelings of disgust and contempt for yourself. Now, I'm aware, and perhaps you're aware too, that you don't feel like this all the time. I like to create this idea, like to say, well, this is your whole life, and this is who you are on the job, and this is who you are with friends, and this is when you're, doing XYZ. This is this aspect of yourself. We're not saying that all of you is worthy of contempt, shame, embarrassment, disgust, and that all of you is lacking worth, or that you do not matter, or that you're not good enough. But we're trying to hone in, if we're looking at the continuum of your life and how you're showing up in multiple contexts, there's this one part of you, this one place. And oftentimes it gets triggered when intimacy, emotional connection, relationship with a partner, when the trigger itself is linked to the depth of loving and the depth of vulnerability that comes with it.
Man, oh Manischewitz. That's heavy. You do it to yourself. Somebody in the chat room, Attila Phillips, she brought up a great point. There's a great book I want everybody to read. I've read it 1,000 times and still haven't been able to extrapolate all of the knowledge and wisdom within it, contained therein. Guilt is the Teacher, Love is the Lesson by Joan Borisenko. Guilt is the teacher, love is the lesson. Everybody should go out and get that book. I present a lot of complex ideas and concepts to you guys about relationships on a daily basis. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now. In March of 2024, will make 2 years if I live that long. But I've been here doing this, right? Not because I'm an expert, not because I somehow got it all figured out and I got all the words. No, I do it because I need it personally. I need healing personally. I need understanding personally. Like, I don't do this because, I want to be seen as a guru or an authority or a leader in this. I'm doing it because I'm in search of my own answers, right? And I'm as flawed as the next person. And it's really hard, to muster up the strength, because sometimes I'm doing a topic and everything that I'm presenting is a solution for what I need for myself, or is a pathway to get something that I need for myself. I never want to present as if the speaker in these conversations, the radio personality, is the star. No, you're the star. And you should be the star in your own movie. You should be the star in your relationship. And that doesn't mean your partner isn't the star as well. It just means you should never let your light be diminished, And it's really your responsibility to keep your flame lit, right? To keep your flame lit. Self-esteem and self-worth significantly influence the likelihood of being taken advantage of in a relationship. Individuals with low self-esteem may be more vulnerable to being, or to accepting mistreatment or neglect. Cultivating self-esteem through self-care, I call it self-empathy, self-compassion, and seeking support can mitigate this vulnerability. And also, I tell people this as well. We like to point out the red flags in our partner. Just like tonight's topic. If you make yourself small, of course, you're going to call others into your space that will help you stay small. Well, red flags work the same way. Red flags are an external representation of unfinished internal self-work. Somebody, red flags in your relationship, in your partner, are external indicators of unfinished internal self-work. Past experiences and traumas can impact vulnerability to being used or taken advantage of in relationship. Unresolved wounds may lead to patterns of accepting mistreatment or neglect. Seeking therapy to heal past traumas and develop healthy coping mechanisms can reduce vulnerability and promote healthier relationship dynamics. Listen, I started it, you finish it. Up next, Jill Monroe. You better RSVP with her and get all the scoop on what's going on in Hollywood. She's going to keep the fire lit. I started the conversation. You finish it. I appreciate you all. See you tomorrow.